Ever since the debate last week, Joe Biden has been up in arms defending his ability to run this country for another 4 years. And while I think we can all agree that he is getting old, him just being old was not the cause of his debate performance last week. It was clear to anyone who watched the debate that Joe Biden was not feeling well from the second that he walked out on stage. But instead of canceling the debate and moving it to another day, he powered through it, just like how he's powering through all of the hate and criticism and people telling him to step down right now. Because Fox News tried to interview Joe Biden earlier and tried to get him to admit that he is not the best fit for president. But their plan ultimately backfired and he had an amazing response to their questions. But that wasn't the only win for Biden. Earlier today, he was in Wisconsin for a rally and did amazing. It's very clear that he is on fire today. Take a look at Joe Biden cracking jokes and reassuring everyone that he is a good fit for president.
Now you probably heard we had a little debate last week. Can't say it was my best performance. We love it. But ever since then, there's been a lot of speculation. What's Joe going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? What's he going to do? Well, here's my answer. I am running and going to win again. I'm not letting one 90-minute debate wipe out 3.5 years of work. As the governor said, I've led this nation from the depths of pandemic to the strongest economy in the world, and that's literally true. And I and you are not finished yet. Now, you probably also noticed a lot of discussion about my age. I know I look 40. I keep seeing all those stories about I'm being too old. Let me say something. I was too old. I wasn't too old to create over 15 million new jobs. To make sure 21 million Americans are insured under the Affordable Care Act. To beat Big Pharma, the first one to ever do that, and lower the cost of insulin to $35 procedure. Was I too old to relieve student debt for nearly 5 million Americans and grow the economy? Too old to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States of America? To sign the Respect for Marriage Act? Or they're too old to sign the most significant gun safety law in 30 years? To pass the biggest climate bill in the history of the world, not here, the history of the world. But then, my critics say, sure, but he did all that. But that was in the past. What about now? Well, how about the 200,000 jobs we announced yesterday? So let me ask you, what do you think? You think I'm too old to restore Roe v. Wade, the law of the land? You think I'm too old to ban assault weapons again? To protect Social Security and Medicare? To get child care, elder care for working families in need of the nation? To make billionaires finally start to pay something beyond 8.2% of the tax rate? Let me ask you, you think I'm too old to beat Donald Trump? I can hardly wait. Anyway.
So yes, Joe Biden is old, and even he admits that, but if you look at his track record, he is very clearly fit to run this country. And he knows this as well. Which is why when Fox News tried to interview him, he clapped back with this amazing response. Check it out.
President, how can you present your case that democracy is at risk, that you are the best candidate to beat Donald Trump?
Because I've beaten him before, and I've gotten more done than any president has.
Have you spoken to members of Congress?
No, but you've been wrong about everything so far. You were wrong about 2020. You were wrong about 2022. We were going to get wiped out. Remember the red wave? You were wrong about 2023. And you said all the tough races, we won them all but 2. So, look, we'll see.
Have you spoken to members of Congress?
I have.
Who have you spoken to?
At least 20.
What are they telling you? What are they telling you, sir?
They're telling me to stay in the race.
What about the people who have called for, they're gathering together to call for you to step aside? I think Senator Mark Warner is one of the people.
Well, Mark Warner, my understanding, is the only one considering that. No one else has called me to that.
Do you value the thoughts of the officials in your policy?
Former President Trump again.
I hope he'll debate me. I wouldn't be surprised
And
if
if he's in, will you commit to debating him?
On committee now, absolutely, whether he's in or not.
Do you value the thoughts of members of your own party when it comes to your decision to stay in the race?
Sure I do. That's why they've said, you guys saw the governors. Every one of them in that room. All those governors said, stay in the race. Laura Haley didn't say anything when I was in the room. Okay?
Sir, will you make changes to your campaign staff at all after the debate?
We're adding, look, we just added another 120 staffers. We have the most extensive staff operation in the states.
And are you pleased with your advisors and how they're seeing you through this moment in your campaign?
Any mistake made is my fault. Thank you.
Are you confident you can serve another 4 years?
I'm positive.
Do you remember the red wave? That was a brutal response. Because remember, Fox News back in 2020 was really trying to hype up this red wave that they were expecting. And especially if you looked at past records of elections, what you would expect was a red wave, just like they were all saying. But there was no red wave. And honestly, even though the Republicans took back the House, it was honestly a blue wave compared to what was expected to happen. And the Republicans only took back the House by a few seats, and a lot of those seats were won due to gerrymandering, so they couldn't even win them back fair and square. They had to rig it in order to win the House back. So Biden calling out Fox News for being wrong over the past few elections was just amazing to see. And I think this really proves that he is fit to run for office and he is fit to lead this country for another 4 years. And even for people who are saying, yeah, he's still too old and ideally we shouldn't have him, he is still a million times better than the other guy we got running. So I think if Joe Biden keeps this enthusiasm up, he will restore faith to the Democrats and will lead us to victory once more this November.